SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. Hi, welcome to SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 2 in the NFL right now, and we are talking with Jeff Cadillac from JeffCadillac.com. We're going to talk first about St. Louis at Arizona. Jeff Cadillac, thanks for being with us this week.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
All right, before we get into this one, Atlanta 7-point home favorite. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what we can find at JeffCadillac.com.
On JeffCadillac.com, you can find all the games analyzed, and it's all free. Only last season, this season only. And you can also catch me on Twitter at JeffCadillac1. And the first week of the season, I went 9-6-1 against the spread.
Okay, not too sure. I'd pay for that, sure. I'd even pay a little bit for 8-7-1. I would not pay for 8-8, though. All right, let's see what you can do for us this game. St. Louis at Atlanta. Atlanta -7 at home plus odds. They also, at a lot of places, you can get -6.5 if you shop around. Now, the Rams squeaked out a win last week. They're the youngest team in the league, and they're kind of one of these teams that's, very energetic. They don't have super high expectations for themselves this year. They just want to play well. Atlanta, ton of weapons on offense, but problems with the offensive line. They had those problems in the preseason, and it carried over into Week 1. I guess if they solve their problems on the offensive line, Atlanta probably gets a pretty easy big win here. If they don't, you got to think St. Louis hangs tough and hangs within a touchdown. What do you like here, Jeff?
Well, I do like Atlanta at home coming off the loss against New Orleans. Atlanta last week, they had that interception in the end zone at the end of the game. Could have won the game. I mean, they were going, pound for pound with New Orleans. Last second of the game, 40 seconds left, they throw the interception. Coming off the loss, they got to be pumped up in Atlanta. Steven Jackson's definitely pumped up for this game against his old team. Atlanta coming off the loss, they got to make a statement. They cannot go down 0-2 in the standings, knowing that New Orleans is on the upswing after the suspension to Sean Payton last season. The offensive line is always a question with Atlanta. They did allow 3 sacks of Matt Ryan, and he had some balls battered away. They got to him at times, but they did open the holes when necessary. Steven Jackson had 77 yards rushing, and Matt Ryan was able to throw to 7 different receivers, and he was able to, like I said, go pound for pound with New Orleans when it counted. St. Louis, again, is a young team. They did have a nice comeback win against Arizona last week, but again, it's Arizona. And they have a new quarterback, Carson Palmer, so they're still going, touch and feel kind of things and new this, and, they're trying out some things. And their kicker on the Rams, this guy's amazing, this guy, Greg Zerlin. I mean, he's, he can kick from almost anywhere. If the game's on the line, he can definitely kick that field goal. But Atlanta has to be pumped up for this game. They have to make a statement to the rest of the league that they should not be taken for granted and that they're back and that they're worthy of possibly going to the Super Bowl this year. So I like, Atlanta. If you can get 6.5 on this one, I would take Atlanta -6.5.
All right. Yeah, 6.5 is available. It's really all going to be about the offensive line here, I think. If they can fix it, we could see a huge improvement on the offense. It would not be a surprise at all to read all the Monday morning analysis saying, like, look at how much better Atlanta. It's just a matter of execution, and they could get an easy win, big win, and cover over St. Louis because of it. We'll see how it turns out. Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank you, Peter.